The Tale of Two Seeds, The Risk of Growth. A motivational story about courage, growth, and the danger of comfort. Deep beneath the surface of a quiet garden, hidden from the world, two tiny seeds rested side by side in the rich, dark soil. They looked identical. They had the same potential, the same opportunity, the same chance to become something extraordinary. But one decision would change their destinies forever. One morning, after a gentle spring rain, the first seed whispered to itself, "I was not created to remain buried. I was created to grow." It could feel the warmth of the sun somewhere above. It could sense the promise of life beyond the darkness. The seed knew the journey wouldn't be easy. If I push my roots down, it thought, the ground will resist me. If I stretch upward, I must break through layers of heavy soil. Storms may come. Strong winds may bend me. Animals may try to eat my leaves. But then the seed realized something powerful. The purpose of a seed is not to stay safe. The purpose of a seed is to become a tree, a flower, a life that gives beauty to the world. With courage, it began to grow. Its tiny root pushed downward. Every inch was difficult. Sometimes it hit hard stones. Sometimes the soil was dry. Sometimes it felt impossible. Yet every obstacle made its roots stronger. Then came the hardest challenge. The seed had to push upward through the heavy crust of the earth. It was dark. It was lonely. There was enormous pressure. Many times it wanted to stop. But every day it pushed just a little farther. Finally, a tiny green sprout broke through the surface. For the first time, the seed saw sunlight. It felt the warmth of the morning. The cool breeze danced across its leaves. Rain nourished it. Time strengthened it. Season after season, the little sprout became a beautiful flower. Its colors brightened the garden. Bees gathered around it. Butterflies landed gently upon its petals. Children smiled when they saw it. What once looked like struggle had become beauty. Not far away, the second seed watched everything happen from beneath the soil. It admired the courage of the first seed. But fear whispered louder than hope. What if I send my roots down and hit a rock? What if insects eat my roots? What if my sprout gets broken? What if the weather is too harsh? What if I fail? The more it thought, the more afraid it became. Finally, it made a decision. I'll wait. I'll grow later. I'll move when conditions are perfect. I'll stay here where it's safe. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. The first seed continued growing stronger. The second seed stayed exactly the same. It never struggled. It never risked. It never changed. One cool autumn morning, the gardener entered the garden to prepare the soil for the next season. As he cleared away weeds and dead plants, he found the seed that had never grown. To him, it looked lifeless, worthless, just another dormant seed taking up space. Without a second thought, he scooped it up and tossed it into the compost pile. The seed that had spent its entire life trying to stay safe lost everything, not because it failed, but because it never tried. The sparrow connection, when safety becomes the trap. This reminds us of another story. A sparrow once found shelter inside the hollow of a giant church bell. The bell seemed like the safest place in the world. Warm, dry, protected. The sparrow built its nest there and believed it had found permanent security. But one day the bell rang. The powerful vibrations shattered the nest and sent the frightened bird flying. The place that once felt safest became the source of its greatest danger. The sparrow misunderstood safety. So did the second seed. The hidden danger of comfort. Many people spend their lives waiting. I'll start my business when I have more money. I'll write my book when I have more confidence. I'll apply for that job when I'm more qualified. I'll follow my dream when life becomes easier. But perfect conditions rarely come. Comfort slowly becomes a prison. Fear disguises itself as wisdom. Excuses sound like careful planning. Years pass. Opportunities disappear. Dreams fade. Potential dies underground. The greatest tragedy in life isn't failure. The greatest tragedy is never discovering what you were capable of becoming. The lesson: every meaningful achievement begins with uncertainty. Every successful entrepreneur once faced rejection. Every athlete endured painful training. Every great artist created imperfect work before creating masterpieces. Every towering tree was once a tiny seed buried in darkness. Growth always requires leaving the place that feels comfortable. Yes, you may fail. Yes, people may criticize you. Yes, the journey will test you. But every challenge strengthens your roots. Every setback teaches resilience. Every risk expands your potential. The first seed didn't become beautiful because life was easy. It became beautiful because it chose courage over comfort. The second seed didn't lose because it lacked talent. It lost because fear convinced it that standing still was safer than growing. Final message. You are holding dreams, talents, and possibilities inside you that the world has never seen. The question is not whether you have potential. The question is whether you'll risk using it. Don't spend your life buried beneath the soil of fear. Don't wait for perfect conditions that may never arrive. Don't confuse comfort with security. Because the greatest risk in life is not failing. The greatest risk is never growing at all. So today, choose to push through the soil. Grow your roots. Reach for the light. And become everything you were created to be.